Viewer discretion is advised.
What up, Heel Faction? Welcome back to Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Because bad guys do heel shit. I'm Dark Cordz, that's Draven Grimes. We got an interesting show for you today. We're here to debate our top 5 valets or managers of all time. And we've got Red Light Special with Lounge and Draven Grimes. We will be right back. All right. Oh, yeah. Look at you. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Look at that.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to After Dark on HSP.
That sexy hunk of a man right there is Draven Grimes. You can find him at Draven Grimes G-Spot.
Only on OnlyFans.
Oh, fuck, I can't tonight.
12 to get 12% off 12 inches or more.
12% off 12 inches or more. Yeah. We sell it by the foot around here, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn straight.
So, we got top 5 managers of all time. Hold on a shit. My shit's fucked up. Why is my shit fucked up?
Of course your shit's fucked up.
Alright,
I can't deal with the red light special tonight. Sorry. Well, when you do that, I gotta fix my shit. There we go.
Alright.
Back to the PG-ness. Shit.
So, we got our top 5 valets / managers of all time. How do you want to do this? Just the same like we always do? Who wants to go first?
I mean, I can. I mean, I don't have any honorable mentions, so that kind of cuts that shit out.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Whataburger, not a sponsor.
Right. Yet.
All right. So.
All right. So, number 5. What do you got? Now, the rules to this is they could be either a valet or a manager. And that's pretty much it.
And it can't be thumped.
It cannot be thumped. No.
All
time.
Right, so. All right. So for my number 5, kind of coincides with when we did the top 5 tag teams.
Okay.
And if we go back and listen to what I said, my number 5 tag team was the Midnight Express. So to coincide with that number 5, my number 5 for this one is Jim Cornette.
I knew he was going to show up on your list. And I'm sure you know he's nowhere on mine.
I honestly thought he was going to be... Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to be a lot lower on my list. But once I actually sat down and thought about it... First rule about Doggy Fight Club: we don't talk about Doggy Fight Club. But anyway, going and like actually sitting down and thinking about all these great managers and valets we've had over the decades, of course, Corny's one of my favorite ones, but I couldn't put him any higher than this or any lower on my list than this one, just for the simple fact. I didn't really get to know Cornette until his TNA run in 2007 when he wasn't really a valet or a manager. It was more of a authority figure. And that's where I went back and started learning about Jim Cornette. Of course, his run with the fucking Midnight, no matter what the iteration was, fucking phenomenal. If you needed a manager that was going to get you heat, and I mean heat to the point that your tire's going to get slashed, your throat's going to get fucking slit, and you're probably going to get fucked with a cactus without lube. That's the guy that you wanted, especially in the 80s. In his WWF run, he had he was part of Yokozuna. He had the British Bulldog. He did that little NWA run in what 96, 97, whenever they brought Jeff Jarrett back in to do the NWA bullshit. So other than I just can't put him any higher on this than number 5.
Okay. Well, for my number 5 is the fairy godmother of all the valets to follow. She was the first valet to become a household name. She was involved in, at the time, the greatest angle or greatest program of all time. I'm talking about Miss Elizabeth. She is the quintessential valet. That feud when she was entangled with Hogan and Macho was, like I said, the greatest feud of all time up to that point.
Yes.
And she just became, she was as popular as they were at the time. I just think she was, every valet that's come after her has, that she's the bar that people are trying to strive for.
Yes, and you could also argue the same thing with Sherry Martel. Between them two, they are the godmothers of all women's ballet and wrestling.
Yep.
By the way, please tell me Sonny's not on your list.
No. That's the only valet. Everyone else are managers.
Thank God. Palpitation can go away. I didn't really want to talk about that whore.
That's good.
So that was your number 5?
Yep.
Okay. So for my number 4, and this is probably something you didn't really see coming from me. The man that made the phrase pencil neck geek famous. Classy Freddie Blassie.
He is not on my list, but you can't go mad with that one. That one is beautifully done.
Dude, I mean, even before he, retired and became a manager, from like 52 to 74, NWALA, he worked in Georgia. He did the WWA, the Worldwide Wrestling Associations. He did the WWWF. He worked Japan. Like, he legitimately was a working man. He went all over the damn world.
Yep.
And then when he finally retired in 74 to actually start, doing some stuff outside of that, let me just name a couple of guys. Nikolai Volkov, the Iron Sheik, Blackjack Mulligan, High Chief Peter Maravilla, Jesse Ventura, Dick Murdoch, Killer Khan, George the Animal Steel. The names are going on and on and on. Let's not even forget when he was actually managing a heel Hulk Hogan before Hulk Hogan became Hulk Hogan. The man's reputation precedes.
100%.
Dude.
100%.
Like if I could ever fantasy book it, I would have a prime Nick Bockwinkel paired up with Classy Freddie Blassie as his manager. That is like the previous generation's Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman.
That's dope. Good one.
That would be fucking amazing.
All right.
So that's my number 4.
So my number 4 may or may not be a surprise, but my number 4 is Mr. Fuji. Mr. Fuji.
Actually, that is a little surprising to me.
Mr. Fuji was saddled with one of the most racist characters of all time. And he was charged with being the mouthpiece of some of the other most racist characters of all time.
You're fucking right.
It was amazing. And he was a badass manager. I mean, he had white acts, obviously, like Demolition and stuff like that.
He had white acts.
Yeah, it is what it is. But he was always latched with those Southeast Asian and Oceanic, like Fiji and and Samoa, and then all through the Orient. You know, it was he made it legit.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming from you. Honestly, I completely forgot about Mr. Fuji. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, and not to mention, he was the excuse that they used when Shawn Michaels had to get away from an adult situation during his DX run when he was all Christ-like.
In 2006, yes. Actually, I watched that segment earlier today.
Mr. Fuji.
Ooh, is that Mr. Fuji? Click, click, and just runs off. Yeah, good shit. That wasn't Mr. Fuji. Yeah, that's fine. Nobody, you didn't want to see Candace's boobs either.
Oh man.
Shit on a shank.
Here ya, homie.
Oh, so my number 3.
Number 3.
And this one is not a surprise to you. At least it shouldn't be. The man, the myth, the legend that is Percy Pringle. And for people that don't know who Percy Pringle is, you might know him by his work name. That is one Paul Abera.
Hello.
Yes. Oh, yes. But dude, let's be real about this. But before he went to WWF and when he left WWE in 04, he had a phenomenal career outside of just managing The Undertaker and Kane and Mick Foley.
Sure.
I mean, he helped manage Rick Rude. He helped manage Stunning Steve Austin when he was working in Texas. Mark Calloway during the very early fucking years before Texas Red and all that shit, like when he was green as fuck green.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he left WWE, he started working with NWA when it was a shithole. And you might know the guy. Yeah. He actually helped manage, one Eli Drake, which we now know as L.A. Knight. Yeah. So the man's had a Hall of Fame career, and unfortunately, like a lot of great legends, he's no longer with us. But his legacy lives on, and it's something that can never be tarnished or taken away. But it's just that outside of the gimmick of Paul Bearer, like the nicest fucking man you could ever fucking sit down and talk to. Had no problem talking to you, whether you were a fucking day one rookie or a 20-year veteran. Like, just an amazing human being. But also he was the Undertaker's manager.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to fucking just sit around that part, but
yeah,
we got to talk about the elephant there.
This is the part where I think we're going to be having a lot in common. They may not all be in the same order, but we're going to have a lot in common on this one. My number 3 is also Paul Bearer, and I think he would have this spot in my list had he only managed Taker and Kane. I think.
And Mick.
Huh?
Don't forget Mick.
Oh yeah, of course, Mick. But yeah, those were the characters that made the Monday night. They were the spooky element of the Monday Night Wars.
Yes,
that's where those kind of. They were the last. Kane and the Undertaker, to me, were the last true characters.
Yes.
They were not to be thought of as humans, blah blah blah. Came back from the dead, all this shit. They were the supernatural angle in that era. And
yes, and I don't think if you put those gimmicks on anybody else, it would have worked. Mark Calloway had to be the Undertaker. Glenn Jacobs had to be Kane.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then putting them with Paul Bearer, who was an official licensed mortician. who had knowledge of all this shit
Mm-hmm.
helped with that character development and made it just that much more realistic.
Yep. Yeah. No. Very good. Yeah, they worked amazing together.
Yeah, they did.
And it was believable, and it was yeah. Well, how old was I when the Undertaker first came out? I think it was
1990. November of 1990 to be precise.
yeah. I don't know. I was still 12 or 11 or 12, but it was
Yeah,
an
I
impactful
was
character even at that age.
yeah, November of 1990, I was sucking on my mother's nipple. I was just a wee little lad.
Just a wee baby.
I was a wee little baby.
A wee baby.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a pause a minute to pay some bills. This
Yes,
show.
sir.
Huh?
I said yes, sir.
All right. This show is sponsored to you in part by Skillshare.com. Skillshare is an online learning community with over 25,000 classes in almost anything you can imagine. Music, film and video, animation. I went through this social media course trying to brush up on the skills to help with promotion for the podcast. And it was really, really concise, really easy to follow. It was well worth it, I think. So join one of the 600,000 plus members, and whether you're trying to brush up on a new skill set or just learn something cool, whatever it is, Skillshare can teach it to you. We are back to our original deal since it's past the Black Friday sale. Tell them what they can have. 30.
Ladies and gentlemen, 30% off your monthly or your annual subscription. That's still a hell of a damn deal.
Absolutely.
Now, I will say I've looked into it, and unfortunately, there are legal limitations. So, like, you can't figure out how to cut a kidney out, throw them in the bathtub. You can't figure out how to sodomize one. You got to be within the realm of reality here, ladies and gentlemen. So, social media classes, art design, graphic designing, video production, which I'm probably going to be starting soon to help with our promotions. You name it, it's pretty much on there on this side of the dark web. 30% off. Just use the link right there.
No Tor browser required.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's So I just put the link in all the chats. So feel free to use that link for 30% off an annual or a monthly subscription. So let's get back to it. The number twos, sir.
This was hard. Number 1 and number 2 were hard. Trying to place them and being okay where I put them, and I'm still kind of not, because it would really just depend on the day of the week where I would put them, but they would always be number 1 and number 2. So for number 2, ladies and gentlemen, his name is Paul Heyman. Let's go back to a time post ECW shutdown, and a strapping young freakish fucking farm boy by the name of Brock Lesnar debuted in April of 2002, laying waste to every mid-card guy there was, with, at the time, the most impactful, unique finish in fucking WWF, that fucking F5. And
That
the
was
way
a
he hit that
killer.
F5 when he first came out was fucking so impactful. Let's move on, shall we, to when Brock Lesnar did leave the WWF, and he became the general manager of SmackDown. And at that time, he was also working with Matt Morgan and A-Train and those guys backstage to kind of help push their careers. And let's keep going on when he was publicly fired from SmackDown and a little thing called ECW One Night Stand. came into play, which kind of revitalized his career in the mid 2000s, gave him something to do to be the on-air general manager of ECW in 2006, where he was pushed with the Big Show, which I'm still trying to figure that part out, but he made the best of it. He then advocated for this young kid from Ring of Honor that got signed to OVW. You might know the kid. His name was CM Punk, to put him on that roster to fucking help guide him to the next level of his fucking career. And then Paul, in traditional fashion, him and Vince get into it, and he gets terminated. So let's fast forward to April of 2012. The return of one Brock Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar basically threatened Vince McMahon, telling him he needed to bring Paul Heyman back. So from May of 2012 to current day has been, in this generation, in the past decade and a half, the greatest manager, advocate, wise man, whatever the fuck you want to call him. He is the greatest manager of this generation, bar fucking none. Look at his clients. Of course, Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, who, with Paul Heyman at his side, had one of the longest reigns in the 2010s of the WWE Championship, 434 days. Ryback, Curtis Axel, fuck them. Roman Reigns, the longest reigning undisputed WWE Universal Champion of the past 25 fucking years. Whoever Paul Heyman touches turns to gold. And if he's already fucking gold, he turns fucking platinum. The fuck?
Mm-hmm.
You picked something up. You fucking lost my damn concentration, cocksucker. But yeah, for those, that's main reason Paul is my number two. But like I said, my number one and number two can flip flop depending on the time of the day.
So, I like where your head was at.
Up my ass?
Yeah.
Oh.
But my number two. Hey, thanks for rating us, man. My number two is Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Do tell.
Arguably, as the name indicates, arguably the smartest man in pro wrestling. He knew it like the back of his hand. It was like a duck to water. He had some success as a wrestler, but he fucking owned the manager position. He, in my opinion, made the manager something more than it was before him.
Yes.
His work with especially the heels, man. His heel aptitude was off the charts. He knew exactly when to pull heel shit, exactly when to get caught, when he read that business like it was a novel. Just great manager, great commentary. He just had some amazing chops all over. The only reason why he is not my number one pick is I don't think his mic skills are the best ever in that.
Okay.
I think my number one has the best mic skills of any manager ever, which is, to me, the most important thing for a manager.
Okay. So, again, let me reiterate. It depends on the time of day what my number one and my number two is. But for me, sitting down and thinking about this, my number one is Bobby the Brain Heenan. just the work that he's done with Ric Flair, Rick Rude, Nick Bockwinkel, not to mention the work he did with fucking Ted DiBiase, the fucking work he put into WrestleMania 3's main event with Andre versus Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
As far as an all-time greatest list, there can't be anyone bigger than Bobby the Brain Heenan. And it's like you said, from his managerial work, knowing when to fucking pull heel shit, knowing when to fucking get caught, stuff like that, to his fucking commentary when he was with fucking Gorilla Monsoon.
Mm-hmm.
I know every generation has that set of commentators.
Yeah, man.
Like from
Mobile
for me growing
Mage
up,
says Bobby the Brain was great. Yeah, he was.
he was all the way up to his even his final years where he could barely fucking talk. Like he was still just like a great fucking human being.
And still,
And
still, when he was at his worst, he still had a crack sense of humor. Like,
oh yeah,
like he was, his tongue never got dull. You know, it was a little
No.
slower at the end, but it was still sharp as fuck.
Mm-hmm. But just him and Gorilla on commentary, just I don't know what it was. It always just brought a big smile to my heart. Almost like if you go back and listen to JR and King in like 2001 to 2003, that kind of just good, warm feeling on commentary.
Yeah.
And just the way they fucking fed off each other was just fucking amazing.
It was.
Yeah. But yeah, my number one's Bobby. In this day, at this hour of all times, it's got to be Bobby.
Okay. Yeah.
And I really don't see what you were talking about as far as like his mic skills, because to me, in the era that he worked in, he was perfect. Like, could it get over here and now? No, but this is also a different era and people work a different way.
Yeah, but we're also talking about hairs between gods. I mean, we're talking about Paul Heyman versus Bobby the Brain Heenan on the mic. I don't think you can. It's a coin toss. You know, so it's not disrespect for me to say he doesn't have the best mic skills, because Paul Heyman has the best managerial mic skills, and either way you went, it's not a diss to the other one.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just don't see it just because of, I see it as the way they worked in the 80s and early 90s is one way, and the way they work today is different.
No, I understand, and obviously Paul Heyman's my number one, but you talked about how good he has been since he left ECW, but he was head to head with Bobby the Brain Heenan for a lot of years as manager. I mean, way back from the Dangerous Alliance as Paulie Dangerously, the Orient Express, the Wild Samoans, like that was 80s, and he rocked the mic skills back then too. So he's bridged. I think he's top tier from that era or this era.
Okay,
but
I can't be disappointed in that.
Yep. Well, yeah, so, pretty much. Top three was pretty much the same, except for the order of the last two. So
it usually is with us, dude.
Yeah,
that's the thing about these top fives. Like, maybe we need to do something like top 5 worst matches or worst promos, or something like that. We do have a difference of opinion on. Even though Hogan Warrior 2 is going to be number 1 on worst matches ever.
Yeah, guys in the chat, give us a top 5 or a top 10 idea, wrestling related, of course. Yeah, give us something to argue about. None of this. We want to be on the same side. Bullshit.
Yeah, so finding something for us to argue about is fucking hard.
That's true. But. Let's hear from Castel Vodka, and then we'll see what else is going on.
Vodka, ball. Castel. Indulge in the red revolution.
So, Randy Orton is back. He
Yay.
came back last weekend at the pay-per-view. The happiest I've been of anything that's happened in WWE in the past 5 years, probably. At least 2 or 3.
You were pretty happy when Cody debuted.
Yeah, but this
He
was
was pretty happy.
Yeah, but this was bigger. This was bigger.
True. Very true.
And I gotta tell you, man, nobody looks better than him right now. Like, he doesn't look like he is old. He's as jacked as he's ever been. Without question, as jacked as he's ever been.
How old was Randy?
How old is he? He's,
43.
Yeah.
He's 43. I just look. You know what his physique reminds me of right now?
Steroid Orton a few years back.
Do you remember the game that came out in like 2010, 2011, WWE All-Stars, where it was like just very cartoonish, like sculpted God? That's what Randy reminds me of right now. He's that Randy.
That Randy.
Punch somebody in the head's coming off and it's going in the 5th row.
Yeah, man. Serious.
But dude, he looks so fucking good. And by the way, Randy, if you ever hear this, I need you to DM me your guy's name. That's all I'm gonna say.
DM your guy's name.
Yes, his guy's name. I want to look jacked, dude. Like come April 16th, 2026, I want to be the most jacked I've ever been, like Jack fucking Diesel. Like I want that Kurt Angle neck where I can't fucking turn my fucking head, but I have like these big ass fucking like Brock Lesnar size fucking shoulder muscles.
Nice. So he's back. Hallelujah. But he picked a brand. He was a quote unquote free agent. Whatever that's worth.
It's not worth diddly shit these days.
Yeah. And he came back and he closed SmackDown. And throughout the show, they made it clear that both Aldis and Adam Pearce were going to be there to offer him exclusive contracts to their brands. And Paul Heyman had to fuck it all up. Paul Heyman was like, don't do it. Don't do it. The bloodline's coming for you. And he was like, it's kind of what I wanted. I'm signing with SmackDown, motherfuckers.
I mean, you kind of saw it coming, though. Like, he made his peace with Jay on Monday night during that little backstage segment.
Sure.
And he made it very clear during that promo that he did on Monday exactly what his intentions are. And he's going after every fucking member of the bloodline. And unfortunately, it looks like we're going to be starting it with Jimmy.
Dude.
What did they call Jimmy the other night? Did they call him the underboss of the bloodline?
No,
Are they really trying to run with that?
I think that's what they called Sokoa.
No, they called him the enforcer. And they called Jimmy something else. I think it was the underboss.
Yeah, they called somebody the underboss that night. Yeah, so it's him. I don't like that.
No, I don't like Jimmy's character since he quote unquote rejoined.
Yeah.
Like, is that character purposely trying to fuck over Roman? Like to break up the bloodline in his own way? Or
all he's doing is getting his ass kicked
with an attitude issue?
He just gets his ass kicked every week.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Him and Jay left the bloodline. And then Jimmy turned on Jay. So Jay turned into Roman. Jay quit, went to fucking Raw. And I guess Jimmy had nothing else to do. He's like, oh, Roman, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Like, what the fuck? Like, the writing is so shitty.
It is. Yeah, ever since, I gotta say that pay-per-view ended with a bang. I mean, what was it? Survivor Series ended with a bang. That match was a banger.
Beautiful.
The Orton comeback, the CM Punk comeback. It ended with a bang, and both shows this week fell flat to me. There was
Monday Night Raw. It felt rushed, and it really was rushed because the main event match between Dom and Randy did go long, which cut into the Punk promo at the end. So like what you were expecting to be like a 10-12 minute pipe bomb was just like a hi, I'm glad I'm back, blah 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 bullshit. So I mean that sometimes happens when you just miss your cues and like you got to cut something to like let something run long. So that's understandable. But SmackDown, it almost felt like a 12-year-old put it together.
mm-hmm.
I mean, the only decent shit I saw that was good that night, of course, was the thing with Randy at the end of the show. That's the only decent thing I saw. Everything else was just like, meh.
Right.
Not something I would look forward to.
Yeah.
And the crowd was fucking dead too.
God, they were. They were. It's like they just came there for Randy.
I mean, I can't blame them.
Now, I'm sure you saw the promo where he should have RKO'd the fuck out of Rhea Ripley.
Yes, we all saw the Daddy's Home promo.
God, that's got to be coming. There's no way that she can flap her gums like that to Randy Orton and not get RKO'd, correct?
Randy hitting RKO on women usually happens at the Royal Rumble, so that's what I'm going to call that one. I think they're going to put Rhea in the men's Rumbles for whatever fucking reason, like, oh, Dom's hurt or whatever, and like she'll take his place and like immediately eat fucking RKOs.
That'd be nice.
It's got to come. If it don't come at the Rumble, it's got to happen at Mania. If it don't happen at Mania, I give up on WWE.
Yeah, it's got to
because that pop's going to tear the fucking roof off.
Oh God, that'll be the biggest pop of any show that it's on. Man.
God, you can imagine a stadium show.
So where do you see them taking Randy? Like, do you see him having another championship reign in him? I mean, he looks fantastic. I think he could pull it off without question.
I do. I do see him. I do see him as a champion one more time, at least. If anything, give him 2 short title runs. At least tie Cena. I at least think he's earned that much.
But see, with him not having those Hollywood aspirations, I could see him breaking it. Like, you got to think that if Cena...
That would be great.
You got to think that if Cena stayed full-time, he would have definitely gotten 17.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. But I would argue now that in the past... How long has Cena been in fucking Hollywood full time? Like 17, 18, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
So from basically 17, 18 till now, minus the year and a half Randy had to take off to get this back done, Randy is a more popular worker, and he's always been a better worker to me than Cena has.
Yeah. Nobody's a better worker than Randy Orton. I mean, that's... You're not dissing Cena when you say that, because Orton...
Oh, no, there was a time where it was like the John Cena versus Randy Orton feuds happened, and every time I saw that match come up, like, fuck, I gotta sit through this bullshit.
Dude, they ran it back so many times.
It's the 5 moves of doom versus the 20-minute chin lock. And you know I'm right. Like, especially that era. Randy, like, ran that chin lock for fucking ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got lazy for a while, huh?
I can't say shit. I took it and fucking ran with it, too. Work smart, not hard.
You got that right.
Right. But I honestly would love to see that ran back one more fucking time.
At this point, yeah.
Like, let Like, let that be one of their or both of their fucking retirement matches.
It's got to be. If Cena has a formal retirement match, it's got to be him. There's no other choice. It's got to be him.
Yes. Because it can't be Taker, because he's fucking long done. It can't be fucking Kurt Angle, because he's fucking long done. It can't be fucking Batista, because anytime he works something, he fucking trips over the goddamn ropes.
But seriously, the biggest rival in Cena's career, to me, is Randy Orton.
It's Randy.
I mean, because they've been in lockstep the entire way.
Cena and Orton is what Rock and Austin was to our fucking teenage years.
Yeah.
But as far as where they're sending it, obviously he's going to work Jimmy. He's going to go over Jimmy pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
I think the solo thing is going to be kind of pushed a little more since he quote unquote finished off Cena at Blood Money Mania. So they'll push that a little bit, but it's eventually going to end up as Roman and Randy. But I don't feel it needs to be for the title. I feel it's one of those blood feuds where the title's not going to mean shit, and Randy does need to go over. And if you want to keep the fucking belt on Roman until fucking Mania, Randy needs to work Roman at fucking Royal Rumble, not have the belt on the line. You know, somehow fucking figure that in.
You know that will happen because he's got to go through Solo, and then he'll have so many other challenges. I don't think he'll get to Roman before Mania.
Well, I don't see Randy and Roman at Mania. That's the problem.
No, I don't either. That's
it's either Cody or it's Dwayne. That's the only two that they got for fucking Roman. Mm-hmm. But then you got to figure what the fuck they're going to do with Randy. I wouldn't fucking put Randy on Solo at Mania. I don't think Solo's ready for that caliber of a match. So who would you fucking put there? Like, I mean, you could probably run back AJ one more time. You can run back AJ one more time.
Nah, he's going to have to stick in this bloodline shit. So, I don't know.
Well, remember, AJ was taken out by the bloodline.
Yeah.
So AJ could just come back pissed off, like, no, I want to take them out. This ain't your fucking spot. You've been gone for almost 2 years. And run that.
Yeah, they could do that.
I don't know. But since they moved him over from fucking Cody, like, everything I wanted from fucking Randy leading up into Mania is just not going to happen.
I would have, if he had stayed on Raw, I would have booked him to be the world champion before Mania, without question.
Oh, I already told you what was going to happen if they kept him there. He would have turned on fucking Cody, beat Rollins for the belt, beat Rollins for to retain the belt at the Rumble, have Cody fucking win the Rumble, and have fucking Cody and Randy at Mania.
I don't know, man. I think it's a foregone conclusion that Cody wins the belt at Mania. I mean,
yeah, but at this point, I don't give a fuck if he does or not. Like, to me, that ship has sailed.
He's still the biggest babyface in the world. I mean, he's gonna have a good run with the belt.
He is, but like at this point, like, tell me why I should care. Like, when he returned earlier this year at the fucking Rumble, and it was the whole I must finish the story.
Yeah,
that was the time they need to pull the trigger.
Oh yeah, the booking fucked it up. The WWE dropped the ball on that without question.
Yeah,
but
and all because they wanted to break the records.
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude, sometimes, you know, history is more important than just trying to break a fucking record for modern times. Right. Roman did that already. He was already over 1,000 days whenever that shit fucking happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I think they definitely dropped the ball. Who knows?
Fucking Brock Lesnar might come back and fucking work Randy. I don't fucking know.
Could be
he's slated for Lesnar's slated for Royal Rumble.
Is he?
This year.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So, you know, if he's working Rumble, he's probably going to work Mania.
Sure. I just don't know where the Rock's gonna fit in here.
I don't know, because they're still fucking pulling that little. The tribal chief told me to do this with Solo, and it hasn't been Roman fucking pulling the strings. So they might try to fucking pull that shit.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. The booking is just so fucking like. It feels like they're just throwing shit against the wall right now, seeing what sticks.
Yeah.
Even though
Keep
you already know they already got WrestleMania fucking penciled in both nights. They know what's leading up to where. I just hate how it just feels so convoluted right now.
I don't know. Where do you think? Where do you see them going with Punk?
I'm not entirely sure because you know at some point it's going to be Seth and Punk, and maybe that might be fucking WrestleMania. Maybe it might be Rumble. I think he needs a good startup feud to get him past Rumble to go into fucking Mania. But I don't think right now is the time to fucking put him in a world title match. I'll tell you what would be good fucking storytelling though. If they could somehow get Paul involved with CM Punk again, get that dynamic going. Just follow me on this. Get Punk to turn heel, and they get Cowboy Brock to come back and work Punk again. Because say what you will, that match they had at SummerSlam was great, but because of the time constraints, it could have been better.
Sure.
So I think that could fucking work well. And they have good fucking chemistry. All three of them do. And that gets him off fucking Roman for a little bit, keeps him on fucking TV, lets him go to fucking Raw, work Monday nights, lets fucking Solo and Jimmy work their own shit. I mean, to me, that's a win-win. But as far as putting Punk in a world title match and actually having him go over, it's fucking nonsense right now. Yeah. And I'm the biggest CM Punk fan in the fucking world.
Right.
Now is not the time to put a belt on Punk.
So, do you think they keep him face right now?
Yeah. I see them keeping him face until at least midway through, at least till after Rumble. Because once he turns heel, he's going to fucking stay heel. Like, he's...
Did I lose you? I think I lost you. Kevin? He'll be back. Kevin, we lost you, buddy. It'll be a long. So, guys, what do you want to talk about as we await the triumphant return of the Grimes? There he is.
Over my phone. Apparently, the power flicked over here, and it takes a while for the internet to come back on. So we're going to finish off on my phone tonight.
Oh, well, all right. Let's see.
Anyway, what the fuck were we talking about?
Punk, do you keep him face?
Yeah, I keep him face until about mid-February, then turn him heel, because once he turns heel, he's going to sell so much fucking merch. Like, he's so much better as a bad guy than he is a good guy.
You got that right. Yeah, no, he's definitely a natural heel. And I think, I don't know, do you think that the audience will continue to cheer him? If, they were in Chicago the first night. Everyone was still high on it the next night.
Mhm.
Do you see the fans continuing to cheer him, because he was booed for a long time in AEW before we left?
I think the thing with AEW and CM Punk is, in the fans' eyes, he was that grumpy old bastard. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like, he was just finding.
Damn, man, what's going on with your shit, dude? Disconnect you. Okay, and you to there.
I'm here.
All right,
Fine.
well, nice for you
But
to
no,
join us.
this new fucking internet I'm dealing with. Leave me alone. But with the way he is in WWE, he's coming back as basically as a fucking martyr in a lot of the casual fans' eyes.
Right.
So it's going to take something massive for him to basically get booed to the degree that he was on AEW and make it make sense.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Because let's be real, he's going to have a lot more fucking limitations in WWE than he ever did in AEW,
Oh yeah, for sure.
both on and off camera.
But what do you think? I mean, the better matches are if he were to turn heel, though. Those would be
I know.
such better
Dude,
matches.
imagine Punk and fucking Walter for the IC belt. As hard as fucking Punk can fucking work, and I know as much as fucking Walter can work, that right there is Mania quality.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, look who finally decided to answer me. Oh, Cowboy Kid.
Oh, what?
The old Cowboy Kid.
Oh. It's nice of him.
I don't know. You wait till I'm online. Fucking message him. There we go.
Cool.
But yeah, him and Chad Gable working a match, that'd be fucking great. Him and Walter, actually him and Eddie of Imperium would fucking be great.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I mean, if you were a heel, you got Sammy, you got
Cody, you got Seth. Seth's coming. It don't matter if he's babyface or heel.
Yeah, no, it's definitely happening. Yeah.
I don't want it to happen anytime soon. I want that shit to slow burn.
How soon before the Judgment Day try to stake their claim from CM Punk, and he has to work through every one of them? That's
2 weeks.
Yeah,
that'd be a great place to start.
I mean, that's how it
Jake
goes.
Yeah, him and Dom, him and Lord Farquaad, him and Finn. And, you know, once he gets to fucking Damien, it's going to be that's a main event right there.
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I mean, but that's kind of the deal. Like, somebody comes in with some popularity, they have to, flex their shit, and the babyface has to work through all of them, starting with Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a formula.
Well, there's got to come a time where him and Shinsuke touch, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, as much as Shinsuke was fucking teasing this shit, it's got to be coming. Even if it's like a fucking one-match feud.
Punk will be on SmackDown this coming week, so that'll probably...
Again, brand split don't mean dick.
No. Definitely not. So, a little cautionary tale for you guys out there.
Oh, shit.
We had, should we talk about this? Should we talk about Ben?
Oh, you talking about Ty? I mean, we kind of already put everything out there on talking shit, so why the fuck not?
Oh, that's true. Cautionary tale for you folks. don't get too big for your britches. And what I
Yes.
mean by that is don't try to. Let's just do a hypothetical here.
Oh,
Let's say you were a young independent wrestler in the Northeast Florida area, and you had pretty much worked shit shows your entire time, made no money,
okay. You're talking about the first part of my career. Continue.
and then try to put on a large wrestling show with talent that expect to be paid when they're supposed to get paid.
Okay, this is where I'm getting off the interstate and onto this little side road that I call my own career.
Yeah. Without having the money to pay the people, by the way. This is what we do. All right. And then piss people off to the point where nobody wants to go to your show, nobody wants to work your show, and you're pretty much shunned by the entire community.
Mm-hmm.
So, one, don't be that guy. All right.
Yeah, no.
But especially don't be that guy and then hang your brother out your car window and drive down the street with him.
I thought I was doing a hypothetical.
Hey, could happen to anybody, right? Could happen to anybody.
Sure, we'll go with that. We'll go with that. But
Oh my fucking god. Don't pull some bullshit and then follow it up with some bigger bullshit. This is the story that we have for you today, guys. Don't pull some bullshit and then follow it up with an even bigger pile of bullshit.
so let me clarify on a few things. So let's go back to putting the show together, right? A lot of the guys that you and I have worked or have booked or booked for were a part of this show, correct?
Mhm.
Myself included. Now, my biggest thing that turned me off of this show and actually backed out was the fee that I gave for this show was basically a favor saying, I'm going to do this for next to fucking nothing to help you with fucking payroll, right? This is a fucking favor.
Mhm.
I normally charge this, but I'm charging you this for this show. Cool. Do not go to my best friend of fucking 15 years and tell him the complete opposite of what I fucking told you, and then not expect him to call me to clarify what we spoke about. And then try to fucking deny what was fucking said and trying to say it was a miscommunication in which the obvious timestamps of text messages say otherwise. Okay. So because of that, I pulled out. And then because I pulled out and everybody started hearing what was going on, a lot of other people started pulling out. So I left with a very minute fucking locker room to work the show. You then go and book legends. And I'm not going to put the legends names out there right now. I will tell you the amount of money that was promised to them, and the total of $500 a piece. Now, mind you, I was only working like $30 that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, like next to fucking nothing for me. $500. You then tell these guys whether the show happens or not, they will be getting paid said $500 a piece. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You then cancel the show. You then do something that was so fucking stupid that landed your ass in jail. And now you have two of the most respected workers in Florida that have worked ECW, WWE, like the big shows. They know what the fuck they're doing. You now have them looking for you. And you stuck in a little county jail because you were fucking stupid and you tried to fucking kill your brother. You can't fucking tell me any other fucking way that was. That was
Nope.
deliberate fucking battery. That was deliberate fucking assault. And he's lucky he didn't get worse charges with that.
100%. 100%. So, kids, don't be like that guy.
Don't do drugs.
The more you know, doo-doo-doo-doo, however the fucking jingle went, the more
And
you
knowing is half the battle.
It's half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
Great American hero. Wait, that's a different show.
It's about the same.
Who cares? All right. Anything else?
We have knockout this weekend.
We do have knockout this weekend. That is beautiful.
We have an open challenge for those beautiful Adrenaline Tag Team Championships, which I have been told by Knockout Management that it's been accepted, but they're not giving us the names just yet.
Okay.
We'll find out when the fans find out.
That's cool.
But we had some unfortunate happenings this past weekend, which kept us from going to Alabama to defend our WWE Tag Team Championships.
Mm-hmm.
As everybody knows, we are a group to the fucking core. And we had every member going to Alabama this month. But unfortunately, due to our good friend Rip, he contracted pneumonia and was actually in the hospital for 2 or 3 days. He was unable to go. And then we had some financial issues that came up very last minute that also kept us from going as well. So for the fans that were in Sampson last night, that were expected to see us, we do thoroughly apologize. We will be back in February when WWA runs again. And we promise it will be a fucking special return for all 3 members of TFK.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And first and foremost, I hope everybody who was in Sampson, Alabama is okay. There was some fucking crazy weather. If you were in North Florida, South Georgia, or South Alabama, you had some serious fucking weather yesterday evening. And I hope everybody's okay. So, with that, I think that'll do it for us, folks.
Yes, sir.
So, for Draven Grimes, I'm Dark Cordz. Thank you for watching Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Because bad guys do heel shit. Peace.